You know, I really hesitated to make this video because, well, it's probably going to get me into a little trouble. And I can guarantee you, I will have hovered over that publish button for a long time before I uploaded this. But here we are. Because sometimes you just have to talk about the elephant in the room. And today, that elephant is stupidity. Let's be honest, stupidity is everywhere, thanks to the internet, and pretending it isn't is not helping anyone. Hey everybody, I'm Rachel. Welcome back to the channel. I'm here to share information to keep you happy, healthy, and well informed, at the risk of pissing you off. Because if having breast cancer twice taught me anything, it's that some things are worth saying, even if they ruffle a few feathers. It's for the greater good, right? This isn't meant to offend anyone. It's just my way of pointing out a universal truth that we can all learn from. And more than that, my intention here is always to make you think, to challenge your assumptions and maybe see the world a little differently. Now, before you get defensive, let's be clear. Stupidity isn't just a lack of intelligence, and I am not calling anyone stupid. You can have a genius IQ and still make decisions that make people question whether your brain is on vacation. And as history has proven, some of the most powerful people in the world have made some of the dumbest choices imaginable. So let's define it. Stupidity isn't just about not knowing things. It's about refusing to think critically. It's about repeating nonsense until it sounds like wisdom. Voltaire once said, the more often a stupidity is repeated, the more it gets the appearance of wisdom. And history has proven him right. Think about how people used to believe that bleeding someone with leeches could cure them of illness, or how tulip bulbs in the 1600s became more expensive than houses because of irrational market speculation. True story. Google tulip mania. Anyway, if you hear something enough times, even if it makes no sense, it starts to sound like a fact. And suddenly a ridiculous idea becomes an unshakable belief, and people are swearing by it like it's gospel. Thanks, Voltaire, for pointing out that particular nightmare. Now, these days, the word stupid is thrown around a lot by all sorts of people. The internet and social media have made it almost acceptable and commonplace as a catch-all insult. Whether it's used to dismiss opposing views or to simply sound tough and edgy, it has become a lazy substitute for genuine critical thought. On a personal note, I was recently called stupid, not because I did or said something foolish, but simply because I disagreed with someone and I backed up my comment with facts that were readily available. I'm not going to dive into what the discussion was about because it's really not relevant here, but it goes to show how quickly some people resort to labeling others as stupid when they are confronted with contradictory evidence and a different opinion. Now, before we go any further, let's make one thing clear. Ignorance and stupidity are not the same thing. Ignorance is simply not knowing something. It's a lack of information. I am quite literally ignorant of a lot of things, and I have no problem admitting that. Stupidity, on the other hand, is refusing to think critically, even when the information is right in front of you. Ignorance can be fixed with learning. Stupidity, that takes a little more work because it often requires unlearning bad habits, questioning one's own biases, and making the effort to think beyond convenience. In fact, there have been numerous studies on human stupidity that reveal it's not just random or inherent. It is very often rooted in cognitive biases and social conditioning. It turns out that what we casually dismiss as stupidity is actually way more complex than a simple lack of knowledge. Enter Dietrich Bonhoeffer, a German theologian who, in the 1940s, argued that stupidity is actually more dangerous than evil. Why? Because evil has intent. Evil knows what it's doing. Stupidity, on the other hand, can be manipulated, weaponized, and used by evil without even realizing it. Think of it as evil's unsuspecting sidekick, like a villain's henchman who blindly follows orders, never questioning why they're holding the detonator to destroy their own life. Bonhoeffer didn't see stupidity as an issue of intelligence, but rather of a moral failure, an unwillingness to think critically. He believed that stupidity thrives in environments where people surrender independent thought in favor of group ideology, propaganda, social pressure, or blind allegiance to authority. In other words, it's not that people are inherently stupid, it's that they stop questioning, they stop analyzing, and they allow themselves to be swept along by the tide of collective thinking. They've willingly, sometimes unknowingly, abandoned their capacity for critical thinking. And here's the kicker. Bonhoeffer also pointed out that stupidity and power go hand in hand. The more power someone has, the more likely they are to stop thinking critically and just start being, well, stupid. That's because power isolates people from honest feedback. Once you surround yourself with enough yes men, your grip on reality starts to slip. I stumbled onto Bonhoeffer's work recently when the algorithm put it on my feed, and I was completely fascinated by his insights on how power can dull critical thinking and his theory of stupidity. If you're curious, I highly recommend checking out some of his writings or videos. It's an interesting perspective worth exploring, in my opinion. And this leads me to Charles Bukowski's point. The problem with the world is that intelligent people are full of doubts, while the stupid ones are full of confidence. Ever noticed how the loudest, most self-assured voices in the room aren't always the ones making the most sense? That's because truly intelligent people question themselves, their ideas, and their understanding of the world. They know they might be wrong. They accept input from others. Meanwhile, those who are completely convinced of their own brilliance often lack the self-awareness to realize they might not know what they're talking about. Confidence is great, but when it's paired with ignorance, it's a dangerous mix. Number 1, ask questions. If someone is confidently wrong, sometimes the best thing you can do is ask, why do you think that? If their answer sounds like it comes from some poorly written conspiracy blog, you know you're dealing with some high-grade industrial strength nonsense. Number 2, be aware of your own blind spots. Stupidity is not just other people's problems. We all face times where we lack intelligence or knowledge of something. The trick is to recognize when we are being the fool in the conversation and adjust accordingly. And spoiler alert, it happens to the best of us. No one is immune. Number 3, don't mistake confidence for competence. Some of the most foolish ideas are delivered with the most certainty. Just because someone speaks loudly and assertively doesn't mean they know what they're talking about. Think Nuke LaLoosh. Remember that scene in Bull Durham where Nuke, the rookie pitcher, yells, "I want to announce my presence with authority," but he has no idea what he's doing? Yeah.
Why are you shaking me off? Huh? I want to bring the heater to announce my presence with authority. To announce your what? To announce my presence with authority. To announce your fucking presence with authority? This guy's a first ball fastball hitter. He's looking for heat. Oh, yeah? So what? He ain't seen my heat. All right, me. Give me your heat. Why is he always calling me meat? I'm the guy driving a Porsche. Fastball.
Yes. Confidence doesn't necessarily mean competence. Number 4, recognize when to walk away. There are some arguments you just can't win because, brace yourself, some people like being stupid. It's comfortable. Thinking is hard, which is why, as Carl Jung pointed out, most people would rather judge than think. If someone is determined to live in their little bubble of nonsense, sometimes the best thing you can do is let them. They will figure it out one way or another, hopefully. Number 5, fact check yourself before you wreck yourself. In a world where misinformation spreads faster than a cute dog video, take a minute to research before you share something. Look at reputable sources, cross-check information. Be willing to change your mind if new evidence comes to light, because the only thing worse than encountering stupidity is contributing to it. Now, here's something we don't talk about enough. Stupidity isn't just frustrating. It's actually bad for your health. This is why I'm talking about it today. Whether you're the one engaging in it or just dealing with it, Stupidity raises stress levels, it increases frustration, and it can lead to anxiety and high blood pressure. I, have you ever had a conversation so dumb it gave you a headache? That is not just in your head. Stress hormones like cortisol spike when you are constantly dealing with nonsense. The solution? Step back, protect your peace, engage only when it's worth it. And remember, you don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. Take a breath, explore all the facts, research and fact check yourself or others before you blindly share information. Think critically, and most importantly, know when to let it go. There is no shame in letting it go. Look, at the end of the day, your opinions are your opinions and mine are mine, and that is perfectly fine. We just need to make sure that our opinions are truly our own, based on facts and careful thought, rather than just regurgitating someone else's nonsensical comments because they fit your internal bias. In a world overflowing with noise, let's strive to make informed choices, not just loud ones. John Wayne wisely said it best: life is tough. It's even tougher when you're stupid. So let's all try to make it a little easier by thinking just a little bit more. And if this video gets me in trouble, well, at least I'll know I wasn't alone in noticing the obvious. All right, let me know your thoughts in the comments. If I haven't lost you yet, or if I've piqued your curiosity, why not stick around? If you want to see what random topic my ADHD brain will pick next to keep you healthy and happy, give me a follow. It really helps out the channel. Any interaction from you tells YouTube that this video is worth watching, so they'll share it more. Thanks for watching. As always, take care of you, and I will see you in the next video, assuming you haven't unfollowed me yet. Bye-bye.